Welcome to today's presentation on corporate social responsibility. In this presentation, we'll explore much of Paul Argenti's insights on CSR and the key strategies, obligations, and concepts associated. Corporate social responsibility involves businesses acting responsibly in society, balancing economic goals with social and environmental concerns. CSR practices go beyond merely profit making to include ethical conduct, sustainability, and community engagement. Essentially, CSR rests on the idea that responsible companies make a concerted attempt to reduce the negative social and environmental footprint of its operations. They generally do so through a thoroughly developed strategy implemented over the long term and not merely through temporary stopgap measures such as monetary contributions or charitable causes. According to philanthropist Milton Johnson, CSR is defined as the obligation of businesses to make decisions and pursue action that are in line with societal objectives and values. This definition stresses the importance of businesses being accountable not just to shareholders, but to society as a whole. In examining the historical underpinnings of CSR, it's important that we look at the work of Milton Friedman. Now, Friedman was a prominent economist from the University of Chicago. He believed that businesses should focus solely on their economic responsibilities, which is generating profits for their shareholders. He argued that social and environmental issues were the responsibility of governments and nonprofit organizations, not corporations. In the 1970s, his views gained widespread attention when he published an influential article in the New York Times Magazine where he reinforced his ideas. However, during the 1980s, society began to question this view. Corporate practices came under increasing scrutiny, especially after major environmental disasters such as the Exxon oil spill in 1984. These events sparked public outrage and raised concerns about the responsibility of large corporations when it came to environmental and social impacts. Now, the consequences of these events contributed to a shift in how people viewed corporate responsibility. In his seminal work on CSR, Paul Argenti identified key strategies businesses can use, such as ethical sourcing, environmental sustainability, and community engagement. Other strategies discussed in the existing literature on CSR include employee welfare, the need to foster partnerships, the need to create long term opportunities, and the need to integrate design thinking approaches. So far, we've discussed what CSR is, we've examined the historical underpinnings, and we've looked at some strategies. Let's talk about some key concepts. Now, one of the key terms in CSR is deposits of goodwill, which refers to the positive public perception that companies gain through socially responsible actions. By engaging in ethical business practices, companies can build goodwill, which benefits them in the long term, both in terms of reputation and consumer trust. Historically, corporate social responsibility often involved financial donations, a practice commonly known as checkbook philanthropy. However, times have changed. Today, in kind contributions such as donating products, services, and expertise now make up more than 65% of corporate CSR efforts. This shift highlights a growing preference for more impactful, tangible forms of giving. Moreover, consumer expectations have evolved significantly. One survey found that 64% of global consumers feel that simply donating money is no longer enough. Consumers now expect companies to integrate social responsibility directly into their business operations, making ethical practices and good works a fundamental part of their core business model. Companies are no longer just being judged by their charitable donations, but by how they embed social good into everything they do. Now, the next concept is a triple bottom line. This concept was popularized by John Elkington in 1999. The triple bottom line is a critical framework in CSR discussions. The term refers to three key pillars: profit, people, and planet. Profit represents the traditional economic bottom line, the financial gains generated by a company. People emphasizes the social responsibility businesses have to their employees, communities, and other stakeholders. Finally, Planet focuses on environmental sustainability, urging companies to minimize their ecological footprint and contribute to the well being of the planet. Now, the triple bottom line encourages businesses to measure success not only by financial profit, but also by their social and environmental impact, promoting a more holistic approach to corporate responsibility. The next key concept is actually an acronym, ESG, which stands for Environment, Social, and Governance. It's another critical framework in the world of CSR. ESG is used to evaluate a company's performance and initiatives based on three main pillars: environment, which focuses on sustainability, including efforts to reduce environmental impact and promote eco friendly practices; social, this pillar addresses how companies treat their employees, customers, and communities. It includes issues like labor rights, diversity, and community outreach. Finally, governance refers to the structures and practices a company uses to ensure transparency, ethical decision making, and accountability at all levels of leadership. Now, you might ask, why should I care about CSR? Why does it matter? CSR matters because it helps companies build trust with consumers, enhances their reputation, and contributes to long term success. By engaging in ethical practices and sustainability, businesses can demonstrate their commitment to social responsibility, which can lead to competitive advantage in the long term. Now, effective communication is a critical component of a strong corporate social responsibility strategy. For CSR to be successful, businesses must ensure clear, consistent messaging that resonates with both internal and external audiences. Corporate communicators play a vital role in this. They need to be actively engaged in crafting CSR messages, ensuring that these messages align with the company's overall communication and reputation management strategy. It's also crucial to create ongoing dialogue with stakeholders. This means regular, transparent communication to build trust and demonstrate commitment. However, in today's environment of heightened scrutiny, companies must be cautious not to make false or hollow claims. CSR actions must always be backed by substance. In a world where stakeholders are more watchful and skeptical than ever, it's important for businesses to close the gap between rhetoric and reality, ensuring that their CSR efforts are both credible and meaningful.